What's good, superstars? Back with another Flickplay video. You got Superstar Joe, you got Superstar Rob, you got Superstar Purina Marino in the building. How's it going, Purina?
Hi, how are you doing? Oh my God, I always miss this one.
We're doing good. We're doing good, but now we're
New
just beat up a
location.
little bit.
Still getting beat up in the new location, guys. But guys, if you are new here, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification. You know whenever we post some great new content for your faces. You can also become Superstar VIP, $2.99 a month. Hit the join button down below. Go on the stars next to your name. Level up through the stars. Enter into our giveaways every single month. Follow us on X. Follow us on Instagram. Join the Discord. We have a Flickplay chat on Discord. You can continue the conversation over there. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. And then, obviously, reach out on Twitter and all that stuff to Purina. Rob, I don't know if you have our socials pulled up there, but definitely go check out Flickplay and check out what they're building over there, because they are doing something different than any other apps that we cover. It's completely unique, almost like they're building the app and building the ecosystem first and then bringing the drops to that ecosystem. A lot different than we're used to, but a lot of fun. And I mean, so many different things, so many different IPs. We're going to get into what their most recent drop and experience is, because I think it's crazy. I think it's like the most fun thing that we've seen from this space, but we're going to get into that. But guys, how you doing? How you doing, Purina?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me today. It's super excited to reconnect.
Yeah, and anybody watching, if you don't already know, you can follow Purina at Marino Purina on X, CEO of Flickplay, and definitely a must follow as well. You can go to the actual Flickplay socials at Flickplay app, and then you can see the latest post here. So, Purina, why don't you tell us a little bit about what this is all about, Pac-Man?
Yes. So as you know, a big part of our vision is to be to bring different IPs into our ecosystem, right? And as you mentioned early in the conversation, we're doing things a little bit different. We're focusing less on the speculation of what you will be able to do in the future with these characters, and more bringing like a upfront or transparent perspective of what you can do with them today, and how from that experience you can continue to expand our journey and your connection with the characters. And as part of our initiative, we announced a few months ago that Bandai Namco was becoming one of our investors. And since then, we have been working. And just to give some background, when we start conversations with them, they couldn't believe that as a team we had not been exposed to Japan culture or to the and to the overall culture, not only collectible culture but also entertainment. And I kind of like got a hint of it, and obviously I start educating myself in this space. But it wasn't until we secured them as a partner and we traveled to Japan to meet with them where our brains exploded, right? Because part of the reason why they invested early is that they couldn't believe that we built Flickplay products the way we did, without being exposed to Japan culture, because they think it's the perfect product for the audience, right? And that sparked a very interesting opportunity for us, and not only as a company, but as we contribute towards building the next generation of Web3 enabled entertainment, because we talk a lot about going mainstream, but you definitely need to tap into niches and have a strong and genuine connection with niche communities before you become mainstream, right? And probably the product that you become mainstream with, it's a much more diluted version of the initial product that really has a dense thesis and vision embedded on it, right? So the more we start conversations with them, the more we realize that it was not only the perfect opportunity for us to integrate a different IP into Flickplay's product, but it was also a great opportunity for us to localize Flickplay in Japan and connect with the audience that it's way more advanced, and it comes in a way more natural way, connecting with virtual beings, right? Or in this case, virtual characters. And this was really the inception of the partnership. I don't know how many times they asked me, will you launch in Japan? And I keep telling them, yes, we will. Yes, we will. They did not trust us. But here we are, a month before launching in Japan, after less than a year of consolidating our partnership. And we're super excited about this first launch being with Pac-Man for multiple reasons. The first one is that next year is Pac-Man's 45th year anniversary, which it's a super exciting well, next year, this year, actually. I'm still talking like we're in 2024. Yeah, so this year is Pac-Man's 45th anniversary, which is a super special celebration for Pac-Man and the Bandai Namco family. And not only that, but the first time that Pac-Man was played was at Shibuya City. So there is a lot of nostalgia on this first NFT collection being released in Studio Shibuya and being exclusive for fans to unlock in the first place where Pac-Man was played at, right? Obviously, this brought like the perfect product, the perfect IP, and the perfect location together, because map has always been a huge part of the heart of the Flickplay product, but it has over time been partially overlooked for us to focus on onboarding as many fans as we can. And we're super excited about finally like closing this product cycle of launching our map with the perfect IP in the perfect location and expanding from there.
Yeah, so you guys have done something similar early on. Like when we first discovered your app, it was because you did some work with the Disney Accelerator program early on. We've seen your video about that, where it was almost like a scavenger hunt type deal, where you were at, I think, the Disney studio in California, and you were doing something similar to that. And I know you did something with other murals in LA or Santa Monica, where you're able to go and visit those areas and unlock things on the phone. I always was obsessed with that idea and digital collectibles, and I was waiting for you guys to bring it back, almost like Pokemon Go style. It is. So like this is a big deal because you have the capability to do this and you've already built it out. So maybe you can just explain a little bit about how this thing is going to work, scavenger hunt is going to work in Japan, because like if you're looking at the screen that Rob's showing here and you've ever played Pac-Man, it's almost like a maze. You want to go and navigate to try and find the dots before you get eaten by these clan people. Is it something similar to the actual Pac-Man game that's going to be happening, or is it just you show up at different locations, kind of promoting those locations, and then you're able to open or purchase a collectible at those spots? Like, can you give us a little bit more details on the actual scavenger hunt?
Yeah, absolutely. You're spot on. As I was just mentioning, the map has always been a huge part of Flickplay's DNA. We are huge advocates and believers that location drive culture, culture drive identity, and identity drive purchase habits. And if we're able to connect the experiences that as consumers we have in real world locations, we can create a deeper connection with the things that we own digitally, and we can expand that experience in a digital environment for consumers. But just like I was mentioning, this will be an exclusive location, an exclusive collection to map. So there is so much about being there and being in Japan that will come to the memory of unlocking these characters. But to give you more context as to the step-by-step process to participate, you're in the right page. So as you can see here, if you scroll up I don't know. I think like the screen is cutting a little bit. Maybe if you zoom out, perfect, awesome. As you can see here, this is a page where we are introducing the Pac-Man collection to the world. And as you scroll down, you're able to see that there are different ways for you to get started. One of them is by buying a rally pass, and the rally pass gives you access to 8 coins. These 8 coins enables you to use each of these coins at a specific location, participating location, to redeem the digital Pac-Man, right? So what happens is that if you go to the Shibuya crossing, which is the most trafficked intersection in the world, you will get your first Pac-Man for free, right? And this is the idea of taking people to the most iconic location in Shibuya to start their rally experience, right? The other way in which you can get your first free Pac-Man character is by buying the rally pass, right? And that gets you, I would say, your collection started. Once you buy that rally pass, and by the way, I can screen share because I can demo a little bit of the map. We have some demo content there, so maybe that could be a great way. I don't know
Sure.
if that's possible.
It is. So
Yeah,
at
go
the
ahead.
bottom, you should be able to
Awesome.
hit share. As long as your phone's connected, you can share that window.
Yeah. Now I will share. I will share my browser.
You want us to bring it up right now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Awesome. So as you access the rally pass, you can buy your, as I mentioned, your rally pass here. And once you purchase it, you can go to your collection and you can see that you have unlocked the first Pac-Man of the full collection, right? And one of the cool things about the activation is that you get a free Pac-Man to start, and you get a limited edition Mecha Pac-Man when you finish your collection, right? And the in-between items are unlockable within the map on Flickplay. So if I click in one of the, if I go, and by the way, this is just us setting up some content, but there will be over 50 different locations in the city for people to unlock these characters. And we have an incredible offline activation where every location will have physical advertising, inviting locals to participate. So this is a massive operation that is really looking to bring the mainstream audiences into Web3, right? Into a Web3 enabled experience. But basically, as you approach one of the locations, you can open the landmark. And if you are in this specific location, you can basically access the purchase page of it, right? And you would be able to unlock this character by being in that location. So if you have experience purchasing a digital an NFT on Flickplay or a character on Flickplay, you would normally land on a page like this one, go to cart and transact. But in here, we are redirecting you to the map and the different locations that are available in the map, because this collection specifically is constrained to the map experience, right? This is also a very mobile friendly activation. So as you can see, if I go to the, let me see. If I close this screen, because I already checked, I can go back to my collection decks. I can see what I own. I can go back to my profile, which is where all my different characters are. But as you could experience on Flickplay app, we have basically built a mobile-friendly web experience that makes you feel that you're interacting with the app, even though you are on web. And this has been a huge request from the community, especially for Android audiences. And as we thought about this activation, we made it an intention for us to be able to cater to audiences that might not have iOS. So you can access the map, and it's like extremely friendly, almost like almost like mobile friendly, right? Like almost like feeling like interacting with the app itself.
Yeah, that definitely looks exactly like the app. And just so I understand correctly, you actually are gonna have signage, and are you gonna have staff too? Like, you're gonna have signage at every location, so people walking by are gonna see Pac-Man, download Flickplay, join the fun, join the scavenger hunt. Like, that's the marketing that you're gonna be doing for this.
Yeah, there is a combination. This is a massive operation that we're putting into action. On one side, I don't know if you remember our initial announcements, but we're partnering with the city of Shibuya, and they have a massive festival happening on February 8th. And one of the initiatives will be basically tapping into every location they're activating in the city. So over 40 different locations in the city will have posters inviting people to join, but we will also be integrated in every marketing initiative. Japan marketing is very different than a US, Canada, or Europe, or the way you would market a product in any of these other locations. It's very much based on offline advertising. Is still very traditional because you can reach so many people at the same time by having some sort of publicity in the real world because of the density of audiences in the cities, right? So we definitely are looking to take a very local approach towards marketing the activation, but at the same time, one of the most interesting aspects of activating with Pac-Man is that, well, it's a Japanese IP, it is extremely popular everywhere else in the world. And to a certain degree, it's more popular outside Japan than it is in Japan because of the oversaturation of IP that is in Japan today, right? So we think that this is a super interesting fact to work with because we all know how much tourists there is going to Japan today. And by us activating an IP that connects with both audiences with a product that has a global approach and it's able to connect with the locals because the app will be fully localized in the language, but also have the interface to connect with any tourist that is coming from Europe, from the US, from Canada. We're able to become a bridge between Japan culture and global audiences, right? And this is a big part of how we believe our biggest where our biggest impact will come from.
This is incredible. You're telling me you guys got localization. You have the app ready to go in other languages. You have georeferencing and the ability to not only, it's within the app, people will actually see. Is it like, help me envision this. Is it like Pokemon Go where there's like a little GPS dot of yourself?
Exactly.
Or do you just, or you scan a barcode when you get there? Or it's like
No. It's fully digital. It's fully digital. So if I go back to the map, I can show you. Give me 1 second.
I think a big deal here is that you've also catered to Android users, which has been something that we've been asked on the channel a lot. I mean, by having it now web accessible on the web browser on any phone with the same experience as the app in terms of using the map features and all that, I think that's incredible. Is that similar with the AR and all that, or is that still an iOS exclusive feature?
Yes. So, well, to answer to your question quickly, there are certain capabilities that are available on web, and there are certain capabilities that are exclusive to mobile app because of some of the underlying infrastructure that we have built to enable that seamless content creation experience, right? So today, the end-to-end process of collecting has been integrated on web. You can even engage on the home feed, right? And with content that has been created in the city. Oh, here we go. Someone in Japan. So you can engage with the feed and you can create a text post right now. So there are ways for you to connect with the community today through our web experience. Content creation is still a feature that is exclusive to the mobile app. But again, we're looking to expand those capabilities as soon as we can in our web experience as well. Yeah. So and to your point on the map, yes, like definitely right now I'm in Santa Monica. So like I'm basically like my pin. But as I get to, if I go to Shibuya to test one of these points, you're able to see that I'm not here. So none of these, I need to physically be within a radius of this location for me to be able to purchase these items.
So another thing that you mentioned is you've actually partnered with the municipality. So they're on board with this and they helped you kind of select these locations. That's yes. So the municipality, I've just, this is unheard of. So you've actually connected with the local municipality. You've sat with their staff and together you guys came up, I guess it'd be like a tourism department, and you guys came up with all these different locations to bring traffic to those locations. And do you also have advertisers on board and they're paying to basically be like, no, I want to be advertised here? Or is this just strict Pac-Man exclusive? Or is there additional ads that will be in combination with that?
That highlights the potential. For now, we're indeed partnering with City of Shibuya and the head of tourism for the city and some of the other great executives that are basically involved in day-to-day operations right now in preparation for our localization. You were hinting at the future. There is definitely opportunities for us to tap into advertising capabilities, redirecting foot traffic to areas of Shibuya that people might not be as familiarized with. I think like one of the biggest challenges that cities in general face is that cities are known for something specifically. So people come to Santa Monica to Santa Monica to go to the pier. But Santa Monica is a pretty big city and there are pockets of the cities that tourists never get to experience because they're not as widely advertised as some of the iconic or traditional ones, right? So it's been a long-term strategy of Flickplay, and we hint at the opportunities when we partner back in the day with the city of Santa Monica to really be able to become that digital entertainment layer that powers the discoverability of locations in the city and helps them redistribute foot traffic, right? That is definitely some of the areas that we will definitely explore as we continue to deepen our relationship, not only with the local audiences, but with different prefectures in Japan.
This is awesome. Like there's so many ways that this method or this like technique is applied in the real world when it comes to physical scavenger hunts. Like for example, I think Disney World in Florida just did something where you go to one of their locations and they decorated Christmas trees in a different theme of their IPs, and you go around with a map and you mark off which IP was on each Christmas tree. So like you're just walking around, it brings you around, very similar to what you're mentioning. So it gets some advertised. Maybe people wouldn't go to this side of the shopping center, but now you have to go and check out that last Christmas tree on your list. And at the end, you collect everything and you go and you turn it in for a prize. Having it digital and you guys being really the only ones doing it right now, I think is a huge opportunity for any other companies or any other people who are looking to do this in the physical world. I mean, now you've got endless possibilities when it comes to what you can provide in terms of collecting and same type of experience, but now digital. I think this is where digital gets that leg up. We've been looking for utility for digital collectibles for 3 years here. I think you guys are the closest to providing that utility when it comes to something that is ongoing and fun, and at the same time, like we've compared Pokemon Go to digital collecting. We're saying, why isn't anybody doing this? Now it looks like somebody is starting to break into that atmosphere of excitement, and I just see endless possibilities here. So I mean, kudos to you guys for doing that. Rob, why don't you say what you got here? It looks like you guys also have some physical.
I got more because we're just stunned by this. Now, what I will say is that it's not just that, Joe. It's licensed IP. That's, I think, the key thing, because the tech's out there, but I haven't seen it get used with licensed IP the way that Flickplay is doing this right now, as well as having the wider ecosystem, right, of the TikTok of NFTs, that whole kind of feel. Now, this is another extremely impressive thing. It says here that you're going to have gacha machines to win exclusive physical gifts after getting your Pac-Man collectibles. So are you going to have like 40, 50 different gacha machines, or is it only specific ones?
This was us really going the extra miles. But
yeah,
we were really excited about, I mean, like what it is to release a culture-centric experience in Japan without involving somehow a gacha machine experience, right?
Right.
And we're super thankful that the Pac-Man team tag along with the idea. And basically what we're doing is that when you collect your first or your last character, you will get access to a QR code that if you go to one of the participating gacha machines, you will be able to redeem one of these capsules that will have a limited edition sticker or badge to it. And there will be 2 collections. So the more you collect, the more you can redeem while supply lasts, right? And these are going to be a really cool collection of Pac-Man stickers and badges inspired in the theme of all the digital items. Yeah, it's going to be like a really cool memory. How do you call this in English? Memorabilia.
Memorabilia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
From their experience with Pac-Man, but also a collectible item, a physical collectible item for them to keep.
And then just on, like, it's just, this is like a utopia of everything that everybody, like, because it doesn't stop there. The question is, how do you bring the masses into the NFT space? Well, the first thing they're going to ask is, what can I do with these things? So right off the bat, they're playing a game, a scavenger hunt. Who doesn't like that? You don't have to be 5 years old to have fun playing a scavenger hunt. You could be 30, 40, 50. You can have fun doing that. Then you get the NFT. Flickplay makes it
because you had to do the scavenger hunt.
Yeah, right. It's exclusive, which brings scarcity. Then on top of that, Flickplay gives you an easy onboarding. And then when they actually have it, they ask the question, well, what can I do with these things? Well, okay, you can go on Flickplay, you can project it, you can make a social, we call it whatever you want. You can create videos and you can socialize within a community. And like, I got to tell you, like, this is like hats off. Fantastic idea, and it looks like you guys are executing. I think that's the most important thing. We've had a lot of ideas, but seeing it executed, I have not seen this execution yet in terms of a Pokemon Go style NFT based licensed IP project. And you got the marketing on site here, bringing in all kinds of just normies walking the streets. They're going to just see these signs. They're going to be like, what's this Pac-Man? What's this Flickplay app? What a great way of introducing this to the public.
As you continue to add IP as well, like I noticed when you were projecting her screen, I don't know if you still have that up, but she had the feed there and somebody posted a video using one of their collectibles, and then like embedded in the video, it shows you like the collection of where that came from. So you can like go over to that landing page and then like pick it up. And I always liked that you guys did that social cue thing, because like if something does go viral within your ecosystem, now you have that embedment, which will point people in the direction of that collection, and then they can pick one up themselves. So I think you guys are doing awesome stuff. And I mean, where you've been a year ago, like I was thinking about it, you were here on our 2-year stream, which was over a year ago.
Oh,
and
wow.
Now, where you are now.
I had just come back from Japan, right?
I think so. So that's how long you've been building this. It's crazy.
But
I remember.
That was my next question, because I was going to say, you got localization, geo-referencing, physicals, you got the municipality on board, you got the NFT background, marketing on site. How long did it take to pull this off? 1 year?
You know, like I think sanity is something questionable within the Flickplay team because it's definitely we challenge what sanity is every day with every new item that we want to execute on. We there is, I mean, on top of everything that you guys mentioned, we're also launching a big community event in Japan. So basically, by you unlocking this character, you're going to be able to go to a place where we rented for a full day, and there will be Pac-Man arcade games. There will be creator panels. There will be a whole world of activities for the community to connect with each other after they complete the rally, right? And this will be a full day event. And we are partially going crazy with all the preparations, taking into account that nobody in our team speaks Japanese. And we have had to find so many different allies within the different verticals to be able to successfully execute for this activation. I remember when we announced the partnership or with Pac-Man specifically end of November, our investors at Bandai Namco, one of them did a LinkedIn post saying that nobody understands how hard it is for an international company to launch or localize a product in Japan. It's a very hard thing to do, even for locals, because there is such a huge saturation of everyone wanting all the top IPs that very few startups like Flickplay. Flickplay is a tiny company, right? Get the opportunity to do it. So we definitely feel both honor and humble to have this opportunity and to count with the trust of such a great partner to be able to execute on it. And it's definitely a lot of work. And again, like we're a tiny team, but we do not believe that in order to go mainstream for the space, we believe that for the space to succeed and for us to succeed as a default of the space succeeding, playing the same handbook that everyone is playing won't get us there. We know that we need to think outside the box, and we try to challenge that every day. When we look at what people are doing in the space, even if we consider it to be great, we still acknowledge that that's not taking our space mainstream yet. So something needs to be different because our full potential won't be where the potential of other companies in our space is today, right? So we are definitely a team, a super ambitious team, and we're really trying to challenge every day how can we execute on new ways of bringing to market Web3 enabled experiences so that as we continue to say, we can pave the path for the next generation of play and social with digital characters.
So I'm remembering back to when we first discovered you. I talked about the Disney Accelerator. We watched the video. Now we have this upcoming thing in Japan. I'm getting really big FOMO. Okay, Purina, very big FOMO. I want to participate in this. Is there any plans to make some kind of a global drop? Maybe you use like main icons in major cities, like something where I can test this out for myself, because like watching it and seeing it happen, it's just, I'm getting itchy and I want to try this out. Do you have plans for North American exposure, global exposure, just like major icons, the Eiffel Tower? Like, is there something like that coming out anytime soon?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's gonna be our next challenge. All the friendly faces around us asking us if they can access this drop, right? So we're already seeing that happening. The Japan collection will be Japan based, but yes, this is something that we're actually gonna announce. It's partially announced on the page, but at some point that we will announce soon, during short days after the release of this main collection, we will launch a global collection that people will be able to access from anywhere, right? And this will be a way for us to celebrate the global Pac-Man fan community, and to continue to understand where those fans are and what the next destination will be for Pac-Man, right? So we're definitely incentivizing that Pac-Man fans engage with that global collection, because that collection will dictate what's going to be the next location-specific activation for Pac-Man.
So you're not done with Pac-Man after this drop. There could be multiple other scavenger hunts that come up. Okay, cool. Nice to hear that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I wanted to go back to a comment. That was a great question, Joe. But you didn't just break the Japan market. I mean, you are literally collaborating. I think this is a crazy deal, because I just can't imagine going to my city and getting them to collaborate with me on my NFT project. Like, it's just like another level. And then another thing I had a question about, because I've seen you talk about bringing in new niche communities. We saw this with the passion for fashion, right? We saw how Bratz basically took over Flickplay, bringing in that niche market. Are you expecting that same kind of, I guess, reaction from a Pac-Man community?
Yeah, and even better, because I think that when we launched the Bratz collection, that was the first, the second licensed IP, but I would say the strongest licensed IP that we have launched in the product, and that we continue to do great drops with. But as we think about the evolution of Flickplay as a product, we will start, as we integrate more and more IPs, we will start segmenting communities more and more, so that when you say Bratz took over, hopefully every community will take over, but they will have a place for them to be able to coexist as a broader community of collectors, but to be able to also experience their own culture and identity without being splashed with things that they might not be interested with, right? This is where communities on Flickplay will start driving moderation, and will start driving what you're able to see, what you're able to expose, what are you able to play with. So definitely you can expect that as we continue to launch more IPs, there will be more ways for you to curate your experience on Flickplay, and for you to be able to consume content and engage with audiences that are directly connected to your interests.
Okay, I got to Rob, you got any more? Can I ask a question?
Actually, I was letting you go. Go ahead.
Okay, so for people who aren't familiar, we have a Starboy on Flickplay right now. We've integrated our collection into your app.
That's a funny video.
This is from Shadow Superstar Steve. He's loving the app and playing around with it. He's always looking for the next thing to do, always making content. That's the fun part about your feed over there. It's like Rob said, the TikTok of digital collecting. But you see how we've integrated our collection into your app. Now you have this new mechanic, or you're dropping this scavenger hunt for companies out there that maybe have IP or digital collectibles or something of that grander scale. Is there opportunity for collaboration with Flickplay to do something very similar with maybe their collection or their licensed IPs? Are you guys open to doing something similar with other IPs?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that one of the epiphanies on Flickplay's journey was the realization of the power that Wallet Connect could have at bringing culture into the product in ways that was not possible before. And we are definitely looking, continuously looking and vetting communities that we can bring their collection into the product, not into the product, but we can verify their collections so that their communities can interact with it. But we also think beyond that, for these capabilities, we don't necessarily need to sell the items ourselves. So we're constantly inviting other collectible, 3D collectible marketplace to evaluate Flickplay as an opportunity to create an engagement tool for their fans while they figure out what their strategy for engagement and utility is for their collection. So we're constantly open to conversations, and our DMs are widely open for that. Yeah.
I mean, we cover a lot of digital collecting platforms on this channel, and we're telling them to get utility. Flickplay has the utility. Reach out to these guys, integrate, make some kind of a deal, partnership, and make it happen, because they've already built what you guys are looking for. It's just right in front of your face. But yeah, I mean, like she said, reach out to them, and I'm sure that they'll take care of you guys. And if you need help getting a hold of Purina, maybe reach out to us. We'll try and get you there. But I think what you guys have done is I mean, beyond our expectations. Cannot wait. Is there going to be coverage, any type of video coverage or anything of this event that we can go and look at? Because I told you, I'm getting FOMO, but I want to be able to experience it in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. So we partner with a great local agency that will be responsible for documenting a lot of the offline experience. Maybe, I mean, and I'm nominating Nick without asking him, but maybe he can do some live footage for you guys to share while we're in Japan during this activation, so that there is some sort of exclusive content to your channel that we get broadcast. But there will be plenty of documentation about the experience, and yes, we have some great creators that will be broadcasting from Shibuya, the activation. So definitely a lot of things happening at the same time. Still operationally connecting the dots, but documentation and showing how this experiment continues to connect communities and continues to shape the future of entertainment won't be something that we miss.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I guess you talked about already, the future application on this is incredible. I can only imagine like sports teams, wanting to try to do this for their fans. It really is endless in terms of the applications. But I think I'm totally blown away. I mean, Joe, we got to give a standing O for this. This is just like, we're going to just give a straight standing O for Flickplay right now.
Thank you.
Because these terms that you're talking about, we have heard through our 3 years of doing YouTube, but we just haven't really seen it get delivered. And I think this is and you're bringing a lot of these concepts together in one shot on this Pac-Man drop. Who would have thought Pac-Man of all IP was going to be the one? But this is it. So, I mean, Purina, is there anything else you want to tell us just before we let you go?
No. Well, my last closing message is that we open pre-sale today. So you can go to the website, which is flickplay.co/Pacman-Shibuya. And you can get the rally pass to participate if you're planning to be in Japan sometime during the next few months, considering that this will be an open activation. Right now we have a special promotion for early bird fans that want to join, but also when you purchase the rally pass, which is very affordable. I don't know, it's right now it's displayed in yen, but it's a very if you purchase that rally pass, you get access to the first Pac-Man character, which is the original OG Pac-Man, right? So you only can get the special ones by going to the location, but if you're a Pac-Man fan and you want to be a part of it, whether you can or cannot go to the activation, you can still, through the rally pass, access a very unique Pac-Man NFT.
I just did a quick conversion. I think it's like between $15 and $20 US, which is not very expensive whatsoever, considering what some people spend their money on. Plus, you get to enjoy the scavenger hunt. I mean, you're going out to a movie, you're spending $100 nowadays. So I mean, it's amazing what you guys are doing.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to make it affordable for people to join, for people to experience what these type of experiences will look like and what value they bring. And yeah, we want to make it affordable for all.
Yeah, so before anybody leaves, if you're seeing this video for the first time and you've never heard of Flickplay or it's first time seeing Purina, make sure you give her a follow at Marina Purina on X, and also it's, I believe, at app Flickplay.
Flickplay app. Yeah.
Or Flickplay. Yeah, here it is, at Flickplay app as well, so that you can stay up to date with all the latest information. Again, a true trailblazer in the space, pushing the envelope here in terms of what you can do with NFT technology. And again, we're glad to talk to you. Thanks for coming and sharing this with us, Purina. We're very excited. Hopefully, we get to see all that live footage, and definitely we're going to do some videos on it. You already know that. So great job so far. And then anybody else, just before you go, don't forget, become a superstar, smash the subscribe button, join the Superstar fam, and hit the bell notification button so you get videos a couple times a week. You want to see what's going on in the space. We're going to keep you updated. So make sure you hit the bell. And also to our VIPs, thank you guys all so much for your support. Everybody, take care, Purina. Thank you. See you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.